Huge fight broke out. Trump is turning his back on Netanyahu. Take a look at this first video clip.
Well, I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled about it. I'm not thrilled about the whole situation. It's not a good situation. But I will say this: we want the hostages back, but we are not thrilled about the way that went down today. I'm never surprised by anything, especially when it comes to the Middle East. I'll be giving a full statement tomorrow, but I would tell you this: I was very unhappy about it, very unhappy about every aspect, and we got to get the hostages back. But I was very unhappy about the way that went down. Well, I'm not.
Okay, so first of all, take a look at where his priority is. He mentioned about the hostages twice. He did not mention about the attack even for once. What I understand from this is that he knew all of it and he gave permission to Netanyahu to conduct that military strike on Qatar. Make no mistake, it was a military strike. But even though, as I said, I believe he knew all of this, right now we have reports from Washington, including officials from Washington, who are now absolutely furious. They're livid at the Israeli officials, especially at Netanyahu. What is the reason? Well, the reason is they had Israeli officials in White House. He was there for a meeting or something was happening there, and he met that particular official. He met Witkoff, the guy, Steve Witkoff, is a special envoy of Donald Trump to the Middle East, and they met. So Israeli official and US official, they met and they spoke. And then after he left the meeting, Steve Witkoff, he came to know there was a strike in Qatar, in Doha. The US officials, they're furious because their logic is that we just met you guys, Israeli officials. Why did you not tell us? You are hiding this from us. And that is something you should not be doing. So this is why the Washington officials, Donald Trump's staffers, they're absolutely furious. So that is the report coming again from other sources. But as I said, the focus was on the hostages. It was not about what Israel did to Qatar. Take a look at what Caroline Levine is saying.
President Trump wants all of the hostages in Gaza and the bodies of the dead released, and this war to end now. President Trump also spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu after the attack. The Prime Minister told President Trump that he wants to make peace, and quickly. President Trump believes this unfortunate incident could serve as an opportunity for peace. The president also spoke to the Emir and Prime Minister of Qatar and thanked them for their support and friendship to our country. He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
Nobody trusts, nobody believes a word from Donald Trump in the Middle East. One hand, you have Donald Trump had prior information about the attack. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump putting out this theatrics. Oh, I spoke to Netanyahu after the attack. These are all bogus. These are all batshit and complete BS. There are many reasons why people don't trust the Trump administration on this one. And this is one of them. As you can see on the screen, this is a refueling plane, okay, military plane, and this is what they call AC-334 or something like that. This is from UK. They use this refueling because if you go from all the way from Israel to Qatar, you do need refueling. This is one of the planes that was involved in refueling mid-air for the F-35 fighter jets that Israel sent. Now, of course, this is from UK, so you cannot blame Trump for that. But you can, because they all work together. This refueling jet or plane is called A330 Voyager, and we even have trackers from the internet, and it looks like this. You see over Qatar, not over Qatar, actually before the strike, over the sea. You see these lines circling. This is when this refueling took place. So they circled all the way here, from here to here, and then the fighter jets, F-35, they struck Doha. And I showed you that refueling jet just now, and this is the one. How can United States, UK justify this picture? Well, they cannot. Means they were involved. Take a listen.
Phase 3, which was eventually to end the war. Never heard anything from Israel, and then turned up just yesterday or a couple of days ago.
This is the thing, right? It's we're seeing similarities with just what happened on the nuclear front with Iran, when the Iranians and the Americans were supposed to be meeting on a Sunday or a Monday, and suddenly, a day or two before, the Israelis decided to bomb Iran. Here we have again.
Didn't go through to stage 3, phase 3.
And I mentioned about that similarity actually yesterday. And I said every time you see a post from Donald Trump on his Truth Social or Lie Social, you have to be careful, especially if you are going against this genocide in Gaza, if you're talking against Israel. Any post from Donald Trump in regards to that, you should take that very, very carefully, because the reason he would post or tweet about a particular deal, particular agreement or ceasefire, whatever it is, you see Hamas leaders. In the previous case, it was Iranian generals. They got together, and also we know with Hezbollah, same thing. And that is the moment when they will strike. So Donald Trump's tweet is really to make these people come together to discuss about his proposal, and then all of a sudden you see, boom, gone, everything is gone, right? So I said that these tweets, these writings, whatever he's writing on his wall, they are all trap. The reason the situation between Israel and US is getting out of hand, according to some analysts, some people, is because of what this guy said recently. I want you to take a listen, and then I will play, and then I will actually play another video. Take a listen.
Applauded. They should applaud Israel for standing and up to these same principles and carrying them out. And I say to Qatar and all nations who harbor terrorists, you either expel them or you bring them to justice. Because if you don't, we will.
So basically he is saying that we will attack Qatar again, and you also have Donald Trump telling the whole world, especially to Qatar, oh, wait a second, this will never happen again. Israel will never attack you again. And then the very next moment you see Donald Trump's master, Zionist master, is giving the final verdict on this issue, and that is that we are going to go ahead and attack and strike any country, not just Qatar. It could be Saudi Arabia, UAE, whichever country is going to be going against us in the name of self-defense, we are going to strike. So what a slap on Donald Trump's face. Unbelievable. Now, not only this guy, this monster, Netanyahu, but also his minions are saying the same thing. Take a listen.
Did you get the targets you were seeking?
If we didn't get them this time, we'll get them the next time. Israel under Prime Minister Netanyahu is changing the face of the Middle East. We have degraded Hezbollah, we've degraded Hamas, the Houthis, and Iran, the head of the snake that's leading these proxies in an effort to destroy Israel.
So his message was very, very clear. Let's take a listen one more time.
Did you get the targets you were seeking?
If we didn't get them this time, we'll get them the next time.
So basically, he's saying that we will strike Qatar again. Okay, on top of all of this that I just mentioned to you about UK and US's participation in this strike, I also want to mention about Udaid Air Base. Udaid Air Base is well protected by really his army, right? Donald Trump's US military. The moment any foreign object will fly into Qatar, whether the military airbase, USS military airbase, will detect and destroy it right away. When we see this refueling online tracker of planes circling just outside Qatari landmass, the airspace there. That is the moment when these air defense systems will shoot them down. But that did not happen. If you put all of these things together, it's a very complicated situation. But for us, it is really not that hard to understand what is happening. Donald Trump outwardly is going to condemn this kind of attack. He doesn't actually condemn. He will talk against it outwardly, but behind closed doors, he will endorse, he will permit, and he will even give his blessings to this kind of Israeli aggression to any country. And I said the blessing because this is exactly the word was used by US officials in the region, in the Middle East, that Donald Trump blessed this particular operation himself. So he's a liar, and we know that.